Shabbat shalom. Not quite up to Musa. Start with a quick question. Has anyone here ever watched Netflix? The rest of you, I don't believe, but that's fine. What about watching Netflix on your phone? Anyone just, all right. Don't watch now if that's okay. You can wait till later. Sometimes when I'm looking for a quick laugh, I open up the app, and on the bottom, there's this little button that says Fast Laughs. And you press it, and it gives you little clips from movies or television shows that are supposed to make you laugh. Sometimes they don't work as well, but they can bring a quick little laugh. Sometimes I find books to just open up and give me a quick laugh. The Complete Calvin and Hobbes, good one. The Complete Far Side, also lots of dinosaurs. Now, low on my list of books that can make me laugh is the Bible. Just got to be honest, the Torah is not usually taking me there. It's got a little bit more of a serious tone. Of course, there is one major exception, which does, need mentioning, the story of Bilam and the donkey, which, if you don't know it, is definitely worth reading. Bilam's riding a donkey. The donkey sees an angel with his sword drawn, so the donkey runs away as to not, get harmed by the angel. Bilam can't see the angel, so he keeps hitting the donkey when he keeps running away. And finally, after the third time, the donkey turns around and says, "What have I done to you?" I mean, you got to love talking donkeys. Yeah, that's why they created Shrek, I think. They stole. Now, there's no talking donkey in this morning's Torah reading, but there is laughter. There are three angels, as Gideon mentioned, who open up the narrative, and they come and visit Abraham and Sarah. And there's a lot of hurried activity as Abraham and Sarah and the servant all run around to get food for the guests. I always imagined like a frenzy scene of like a Benny Hill skit, and they're all just running very fast. It's a reference that some don't get, but that's fine. These visitors have come with a very important message. Abraham is told, "I will come back next year, and your wife, Sarah, will bear a son." Now, if Abraham has a response, the text doesn't share it. But we're told that Sarah was listening from the entrance of the tent. And the narrator then interrupts and says, just in case you forgot, Abraham is 99 and Sarah is 90, just to kind of frame it. And then we're told that Sarah starts laughing to herself. Why? It's a little absurd. After years and years of yearning for a child, she's pretty much given up on that and realizes that that's not going to be her destiny. She says, "Shall I really bear a child, old as I am?" Her laughter is kind of like, that's ridiculous. It's a laughter of disbelief, or maybe mocking something that's clearly impossible, maybe even cynical, reflecting the pain she's experienced. Now you tell me I'm going to have a child? Sarah's not the only one who laughs. At the end of last week's Torah portion, Abraham is told that he's going to have a son. And he laughs so hard that he actually falls out of his chair onto the floor and falls on his face, which I'm trying to remember a movie that really did that for me. Actually, I do remember, but I'm not going to repeat it. Anyway, there are many kinds of laughter. There's etiquette laughter, where it's sort of appropriate to laugh. There's a kind of contagious laughter that happens, and I appreciate it when it happens in here a lot. There's a nervous laughter, a laughter of disbelief, and of course, a laughter of joy. There's also sometimes like a cruel fake laugh when someone teases or mocks someone else. There is a laughter that can break the tension. Thinking of like a crazy day. Perhaps you've lost your keys, your phone is broken, your kid is sick, and you just stand there and you laugh at your predicament. Laughter can erupt in all kinds of situations. It can be that release in an intense moment, like when someone's kippah falls into the grave at a funeral. Not saying it happened to me, but all right, it did happen. The very dissonance just opens something up and releases the pain, and we laugh. Now, sometimes laughter and even crying can be intertwined. Sometimes we laugh so hard it can bring tears to our eyes. And sometimes, maybe less frequently, we cry so much that we start to laugh. These are really intense emotions that help us feel what lies inside, often opening up a deep state of joy or loss. And through that, we can sometimes experience a measure of healing. Israel's national poet, Chaim Nachman Bialik, wrote, "Before God, there are yet other languages than those with words, melody, weeping, and laughter. They are the possessions of all people who are alive. They are the manifestations of very deep levels of our being." And it's true. When we lose ourselves in a song, like on Friday night at Kabbalat Shabbat, or we're totally present in a moment of happiness or sadness, we experience life on a little bit of a different level. Laughter is like that. It can be all encompassing. I want to return to Abraham and Sarah's laughter. Now, Rashi, who Gidi mentioned earlier, really has a misogynistic move because he's like, Abraham's laughter, that was a laughter of faith and belief and celebration. But hers is a laughter that demonstrates lack of faith. And obviously, I find this to be a highly problematic reading. Why would the word sachak, laughter, mean two different things? But perhaps there's a better way to understand what's taking place. And Dr. Aviva Zornberg, who writes beautiful commentaries on the Torah, she brings out a 13th century Spanish commentator, Nachmanides, Ramban. And she claims that Sarah's laughter was something different than Abraham's. She points to how laughter can often be uncontrollable. And once we start laughing, sometimes it's hard to stop it. And then Zornberg points out that at the end of this scene, it says, ki tzachakt, because you laughed. Now, ki can also mean when you laughed. When Sarah laughed, something changed for her. It was the very act of laughing that opened up something different, a spark of hope, a different sense of possibility. Suddenly she can imagine maybe a different destiny for herself. Zornberg characterizes Sarah's laugh, quote, as the embodiment of the tension of joy and enlarged possibilities. Rabbi Ariella Rosen points out that laughter occurs more frequently when we're with others than when we are alone. Quote, we find ourselves laughing at things that are not even remotely funny if others start laughing. Laughter then must serve as more than a response to the unexpected and the humorous. Zornberg, quoting a French writer, Michel Tournier, reflects that when individuals laugh together, quote, they are using a pseudo-language of laughter based on some common ground, which, unintelligible in itself, has as its function to narrow the distance between their respective positions, which divides them from that common base. Laughter has its own language, and it helps us connect on some primal, yet distinctly human level. When we laugh or seek to provoke that reaction in others, it's a way of asking, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Can I see myself in you? I want to bring this back to the text because there's a third laughter that happens in our parasha. It's when Isaac is born. Sarah says, Tzachok asali Elohim, kol hashomea yitzchak li. God has brought me such laughter. All who hear will laugh with me. This is a different Sarah, a different Sarah. She and Abraham have been transformed by their laughter, producing a child whose name means he will laugh, Yitzchak. And now everyone can join with them, sharing their joy. Sarah invites everyone to laugh with her. This is a laugh to celebrate the moment. In the world that we live in, which has many challenges and moments that can make us feel a sense of despair, I think that Sarah's laughter reminds us how laughter can transform. It can change our way of seeing and experiencing the world. When we laugh, it is truly the best medicine. Shabbat Shalom.